Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a super chatty get ready with me. I am going to use everything that I have in my collection. So it's going to be like a shop my stash kind of a video, but also talking about the new releases that are coming in the market, especially eyeshadow palettes, the ones that I am really interested in. So if you're ready for a chatty get ready with me, grab your coffee and your makeup and let's begin. Let's begin with the primer. I already did my brows and I use my Secret of Pharaoh micro brow pencil, and this I picked out actually from Kroger. I've been using this continuously and I am almost done. This is the last bit that is left. I really love when I use up all my things. So I'm super excited for this. I've been loving this also. Like the formula is very creamy, very blendable, very nice. For the primer, I'm going to take my She Glam birthday skin primer. I think that's what it's called. I really like this product too. Again, it looks like pink clay in the bottle, but it definitely does smooth out your skin texture, which I really have a lot of skin texture going on right now. So I mainly concentrate on like the center of the face and then just rub whatever is left throughout my skin. Oh my God, did you guys see? I really wanted to talk about the new palettes that are coming. Of course, we have our Pat McGrath palette. We have so many other like mainstream brands, but I am here for all the indie makeup releases. I did see the color story of the new It's Belle palette. As I was thinking, I think they're going on the same route. They're going more like green and blue and pink. I've still not seen the whole like palette reveal. If I have this in front of me by the time I'm like editing, I'll show you a picture of it. But Simply Posh did show the picture of the palette and it looks stunning. It absolutely looks stunning. Yes, it does has those greens, which I dread. If you guys don't know, I really go and stay away from my greens because I really feel that it doesn't suit me that well, especially because of my like complexion. I don't know. That's not my comfort level. But we are gonna step out of the comfort zone even today. I've been doing a lot of green looks. If you guys have not seen in the previous videos, and you guys have been complimenting me, so I am very thankful for that, because I personally feel that I really do not look good in greens. Okay, for the foundation, I'm going to take my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. We're going to use everything that we currently have in our selection and not like anything new, I would say, because we definitely need to use up the products that we have. And this is like almost done. I think since I've been like this tan, I've been continuously in rotation with this ColourPop foundation and my L'Oreal True Match Nude foundation. Those are like my top favorites from my collection, especially affordable one that I actually even, not talking about the price range, these are like two good foundations. This for more of like a glam look, and the L'Oreal one more when I am going for like an everyday look. I use that so much. You should see the progress that I've made in the L'Oreal one since, you know, like I got this year, right? And let me show it to you. Look how much I've used. Like, I'm proud of myself. Yeah, talking about the Simply Posh's palette, I'll pop a picture on the screen for you guys. And I love that they always do like a full row of duochromes in the center and the complementing matte on the top and the bottom row. And these palettes are not expensive. The time that I'm filming this, I do not know exactly what the price of this palette is, but generally they're this size. Eyeshadow palettes are generally like $35, I would say. But this time they have made it all magnetic, which I absolutely love. When brands do that, like magnetic pans, and when you can like customize your own palette with the shades that you already have. So for example, since I am not a big fan of those like pastel Kelly greens, as you can see, like the last 3 shades on the top row are more of that green shades, which I personally, I would switch out that second last and the third last shade from that palette to match my own, like, you know, my comfort zone. And that would make my perfect palette, I would say. So I am definitely interested in grabbing that. I think price point would be a little more higher than the $35, but you getting like 18 shades, I would be okay to go from like 35 to 40, I would say. But this would be the first palette that I would like pick out from them. I was also very, very interested in their Cozy Cabin palette, but because these indie brands are like so small, they have like super difficulty in like restocking the palettes because they actually do not know how much inventory to like put forward to. But I've heard great things about Simply Posh. Even my friend Corley, when she visited me, I recently did pick out like 2 of their palettes and she was raving about them. I got so intrigued. So I'm definitely going to pick that up. Let's finish off with our eyes. So I'm going to use my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. And for the cream bronzer, I'm going to take my Candy Paint Half Caked Cream Bronzer in the shade North Shore. I have a big pan going on. So I'm going to finish this and simultaneously we'll talk about it. The other palette that is coming in the market I'm so interested in trying is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Primal palette. If you guys don't know, I every time do like a video in the beginning of the year when saying like what are the companies that I really want to try this year, and Blend Bunny was on my list. I've been like hearing so many people like rave about these palettes and I really wanted to test them out. And when I saw they were teasing with this palette, and these palettes I would say are about like $43 I think, and they're giving like good amount of shade range. Generally they come out with like more shades, which I would have been like up for, but this time they're coming out with 24 shades and actually 24 normal size pan shades, like a square pan shades, and 1 black and 1 white of a longer shadow in the bottom. By the time I'm like talking to you guys, they've only released like 2 columns, and one is like a red column, which I'm all up for. I do not have like much of red shadows in my collection, especially matte ones. The only red matte that I have is from Hint Dash's palette, the Beautopsy palette. But I'm very intrigued. I love the berries. I love the shimmer that they have chosen for the palette. This also only has like 6 shimmers in their palette. Blend Bunny is known for their mattes. They do have amazing shimmers, but they generally are matte heavy palettes. So if you're looking for like good mattes, I would test it out and I'll let you know if I really like them or not. I doubt if I would not like them because if I'm not picking it up front, but I would definitely pick it up when it's like Black Friday deal or something like that. And the second column that they have released is the green row. Again, those greens that they have displayed, those are all wearable greens for me, except the second shade, that lime green, but I think I can definitely make that work also. Very excited to see what are the next rows. I know for a fact the shade Ray is more of like a mustardy yellow shade, which also I'm super intrigued about because I, again, do not have a lot of mustardy yellows in my collection. So yeah, very excited about that. So those are the 2 palettes that I am like definitely gluing my eyes on. Let me see how the It's Belle palette also turns out. Oh my god, my low buy is gonna go for a toss, I think. Because I was like seriously planning on getting like staying around the realm of like 10 palettes this year. Out of which I'm on number 8 right now, but out of the number 8, 3 of them have been like gifted to me. So if I'm not counting that, I'm at a good position. But if I'm counting that, I'm already on my 8. And these palettes would make it 10. But I'm interested in my It's Belle palette also because I love It's Belle quality altogether. So yeah. And I'm also eyeing on the Natasha Denona new palette. And I'm also would be excited to see what Huda Beauty comes out with this year. So yeah, those are like the palettes that are in my mind for this year. But I'm also super intrigued about getting more single shadows, especially from like Divina or Terra Moons for the Black Friday deal. I absolutely loved the shadows that Terra Moons came out with like recently. It's just been like a week or something, and I was all up for like buying it, but those add up so quickly. If you're getting like 5 or 6 shades, you're definitely going over $100. And I rather wait for a sale or a Black Friday deal to happen, because I know Terra Moons does like a buy one get one off, especially on Black Friday. So I'll be waiting for that for sure. This Here I really picked out a lot from Luxy Beauty, so I think I can ease out on them because now I am very well aware of how Luxy Beauty eyeshadows work. And I also picked out a lot from Pretty Sphere Face this year, so I think I'm good on that realm. I did test out a lot of new brands like Sugar Drizzle. So yeah, we're gonna play with Sugar Drizzle palette today because I feel like, yeah, I need to test that out a little more. Although I'm in love with the shadows that I've already tested out, but since it's there in the collection, why not test them out even more? For the powder, I'm going to take my Believe Beauty Translucent Loose Setting Powder. Very, very nice powder. I really, really love that. First, underneath the eyes before it starts creasing, because this definitely smoothens out all the creases and it just blurs out the skin. So really, really like this powder. You guys let me know, what are the new launches that you are interested in picking? Are you guys picking out the new Pat McGrath palette? I actually recently did do dupe the Pat McGrath palette on my channel. If you guys don't know, I really do a lot of dupe videos, mainly for me, so that I don't like run and buy it right at the time it's launching, rather wait for a sale. Because again, I have mentioned this quite a few times, I'm more of a consumer first rather than like buyer and reviewer. So I would only do the things that really intrigue me and that just calls out to me and are unique in my collection, rather than buying the same shades again and again. So that's the main reason why I dupe those palettes, especially if they're like super calling out to me. I really like the palette that she comes with, but nothing groundbreaking in like the color story. So I can definitely hold on to it. Now for the blush, we're going to dip into our Pat McGrath blush. And this one is in the shade Nude Venus. Isn't it Nude Venus? Yeah, Nude Venus. And this is more of like that neutral blush. I generally use the shade Cherish a lot. So let's go more on like a nudie route today, just because the eyes are going to be heavy, I think. Out of the Terra Moon shadows that they recently launched, the shades that really called out to me was Stellar Apotheosis, and that reminded me a lot of Cosmos, but a little more of a deeper shade, because Cosmos is definitely on the lighter side, but it has so many dimension to it. So if you guys are like my skin tone and if you do have Cosmos, do let me know how does that look on you. And I've not bought anything from Terra Moons previously. This would be like the first time that I'm getting something from Terra Moons. I'll wait for the Black Friday deal, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get them. And then I was interested in Cosmic Collision, because that actually Millie here, the Bat to the Brow, she compared it to Cornflower from Glaminatrix, and I was immediately intrigued, because I have been like eyeing Cornflower shade for such a long time. So I was like, I need Cosmic Collision for sure. The other shade that I was really interested in is a Martian Dust, which was very, very similar to Aurora Australis, is what Millie said, and she compared. I'll link Millie's video in the description box below just for a comparison if you are also interested. Apart from that, what was I interested in? Hyperbolide. I was really, really interested in that because again, it's a purple shade and I love my purples. If you guys don't know, I love my purples. So yeah, it'll be a crime not to get that. So now talking about that, let's move on to our eyes, because we're talking about all these glimmery, shimmery eyeshadows and I really want to play with them. I have 3 palettes in front of me. So I don't know what I'm going to go with. We'll go with the flow, but I have ABH Subculture palette because I love my grungy tones and I really wanted to play with these grungy tones. I have Odin's Eye Hummingbird palette, because you know it's summer and you should play with some colors, and I do have the Sugar Drizzle MILF palette because purples. I have a reasoning for everything. Okay, so now let's begin. What are we gonna do? Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but let's start off. I'm gonna start off with the shade Roxy from the ABH Subculture palette, and I'm just gonna dust it all across my crease because that's a great blending shade to have, especially if I'm going into like dipping into colors. And I'm also gonna dust this on my lower lash line. Okay, now I'm gonna dip into this shade, which is Star Apple from the palette. Mostly like a deep eggplant purple shade. And I'm just gonna put that on the outer corners and just blend it very, very slightly with a very, very light pressure, and just blend it towards the center of my eyelid. This would be like the deepest shade that we're going to play with. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to take this same shade on my lower lash line, mainly focusing on the outer corners. I'm not worried about the blending. I'm mainly focusing on the placement of the shadows, just because we're going to apply more shadows and we can perfect it later. Now, once we have that, I'm going to go back to my Roxy shade and just perfect the edges of this deeper matte shade that we used, just so that we have an easy blend going on there. Now I'm going to take my NYX glitter glue, a very tiny little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to dab that on my eyelid. Again, I just love this process just because I don't want any fallout on my face, especially when I've like done my makeup. Yeah, let's just avoid that. And this is like a very little bit. And now once we have that, okay, I'm going to dip into the shade Hop Along from the palette. Again, look at these shades. Look at these shades. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to focus that on like the center of my eyelid, mainly center of the eyelid, I would say. And just pat it towards the inner third. I'm definitely not taking it there just because I want another shimmer on the inner third of the eyelid. And I don't know if it's capturing on camera or not, but this has some beautiful shifts. It has like purple and green, teal, a little bit of blue. Let me see if I can like show you in the camera. Oh my God, stunning it is. Definitely a black base multi-chrome. For the inner third of my eyelid, I'm going to dip into this shade, which is Fancy from the Hummingbird palette. Another multi-chrome shade, another stunning shade. Okay, I'm going to take that and I'm just going to apply that on the inner third and then tapping it on top of that Hop Along shade, just so that there's no harsh lines and just smoothly flows into each other. Now for the lower lash line, I'm actually going to take a little bit of Hibiscus shade here and concentrate that on my inner third to my center of my lower lash line. Just like that. And for my inner corners, I'm going to go back into the MILF palette. I'm going to take this shade, which is Croaky. This one. And then just dip that on my inner corners just for a pop. All these shades are so dimensional. Like I cannot. I'm just going to sweep it a tiny little bit up just so that we have something like attaching to the eye look. Just like that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. That's too much. Okay, now I'm just going to finish off my eyes with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. This is how the eyes have turned out. Now let's move on to the highlighter. For the highlighter, I have my Catrice More Than Glow highlighter, and this one is in the shade Beyond Golden Glow. So let's apply that. Love the glow. We're going to keep it a little more subtle just because we have our eyes are like blingy and all, but we cannot forget our nose. So let's do that. And now for the lips, let's use BFF3 from Colourpop. And then for the lipstick, I have Pat McGrath Venus in Furs, a beautiful like everyday pinky brown shade. You can definitely leave it at this, but I am really craving a gloss. So I'm going to take this Stila lip gloss that I have in the shade Pink Slip. I think this has like an iridescent pinky purple. I think this would go lovely with the eye look. So let's take that. I'm going to concentrate this more on my Cupid's bow. If I stop talking. And then just clean the wand and put it back. And let's set our face with Milani's Make It Last Setting Spray. Look at my Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. I'm at the edge. I'm at the edge. Going through things, loving it. So that's my final look. Let me give you a close-up on how everything looks. Let me know in the comment section below, do you like this look? Are you a big purple fan like me, or are you into some other colors? Because I know a lot of people love their greens. It's only that I am afraid of it. I think I speak about greens in every video of mine. I think I've experimented with greens so much this year that I should stop saying that I dread greens. Am I right or am I right? And definitely let me know in the comment section below which are the palettes that are intriguing you the most out of the new launches that are happening, and what are you waiting for. If you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, sometimes 4, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!